how do you know when something's a green light? And sometimes do we miss them? Like, do we miss green lights as well?
Absolutely, we miss them all the time. Sometimes they're right in front of us. We don't see them daily because we're not in a place to receive them, to recognize them, to be aware of them, to see a certain situation. Sometimes we see red and yellow lights where they're actually green lights. Sometimes we slow down and stop, or feel like we're getting stopped when it's actually no. It was free. There was no glass on the floor. You could pass through that dark hallway. It was a free ride, whatever that may be. A lot of times, I know that we can create green lights, engineer them for our future by the choices we make daily. I call it, it's a version of delayed gratification. It's a version of ROI, return on our investments. It's like teeing ourselves up, being kind to our future self, teeing up more green lights in our future. They're based on a mix of responsibility and freedom, the choices we make, compounding assets of our future. If we, for instance, we could decide to say, I'm going to lie, cheat, steal, get a short money green light right now for me. Well, you're actually teeing up yellow and red lights in the future, because everywhere you go, you got to look over your shoulder and go, oh, is someone here that I lied, cheat, and stole from? And the cops are after me, whatever that may be, as a metaphor. If we take care of our business today, it can be simple thing. Here's a simple green light thing. Put your coffee in your coffee filter the night before you go to bed. You're so happy the next morning just to press that button, because sometimes it's hard to make your coffee when you hadn't had your coffee. So there can be simple little green lights where you tee yourself up for more success and ease in the future. And then, like I said, sometimes you can engineer them. Sometimes they will just fall in our lap. And how do we find them? I've found that we find them by either enduring through something, or pivoting and having another look at something a different way, or raising the white flag and saying, I give. I'm going to live to fight another day because I'm going to fight another battle here. The tool for getting to them that I've written up in the book is, when faced with the inevitable, get relative. So when do we deem something inevitable? A situation. Like now, we're in COVID. It's inevitable. So you and I can sit here and go, oh my God, when's this going to end? I wish this was over. I wish we were back in the good old days. Nothing constructive in anything I just said. Nothing leading towards a green light. But can we say and recognize, like you did offline before we got on this, hey, it's really been a still, quiet time for me right now. I've been taking inventory. That's recognizing a green light in the red light we're in right now, and setting yourself up for that to remain a green light, to make this useful time in whatever way you can. You're already cultivating and building a green light for your future in this red light time. So in that version, another truth that I believe is that every red and yellow light does reveal itself to be green somewhere in the rearview mirror of life. Sometimes we notice it today, sometimes next week, next month, next year, sometimes on our deathbed, sometimes maybe our great grandkids will actually be the first recipients of the green light of some red light we had in our own life. My father died in 1992. Major red light in my life. Red light for quite a while. I read, and going through writing the book, I looked at the diaries. I was like, oh, with him passing away, the values that you kind of had learned from him, that you were doing, a decent job of living by, but not really. Why wasn't I really doing a good job? Because I had him to rely on. He was alive. He was my safety net. He was above government and law to me. So Dad's there. I'll be okay. I don't have to really commit. I don't really have to man up to this situation. I don't really have to have the courage to do this, because Dad's here. He's got my back. Whoop, lost him. Oh, he's not here. Uh-oh. And all of a sudden, everything that I revered, all the mortal things in life that I revered, came down to eye level. All the things that I was condescending and patronizing, looking down upon, rose up to eye level. The world was flat. I could see further, wider, and clearer. I gained courage, confidence, kindness, became more of my true self and was more truthful. I don't believe I would have done that. I know I wouldn't have if my dad was still alive at that point. Maybe I would have done it another time in life. But his passing, that red light passing, revealed early green lights for me. And now in hindsight, I'm like, I don't know if I'd be here. I don't know if I'd have the family I have. I don't know if I'd be who I was if my dad would not have passed. So it's not about denying the red light. It's not about covering up and saying, oh, it didn't happen. No, it happened. And it's a red light. But even the one we're in now, there's a great chance we have the opportunity to look back at 2020, the most awkward and tragic year that we can remember, as a banner year of rebirth and change, in a year that really moved our floor. It's not a guarantee that we use it, but we have an opportunity to. And it's the seeds of those green lights. We're living in them right now. We may not know what they are.